Okay. 2023. In the year 2023, Nanapo and a energy minister. And na omuchenji ejapamesa. And omude obi a friend Herbert Krapper ebe show as deputy. Remember, 2022, ejapamesa was the deputy to Napo. Omuba 2023 no, and omuchenji ejapamesa and omude Krapper ebe show, and they maintained the second deputy minister Edu as energy ministry. Into Napo state, they changed ejapamesa and the Krapper Herbert Krapper be show, and omu maintaining second deputy energy minister. Now, over ECG in 2023, did anything happen? In 2023, Kelly Gajapo was still there. Herbert Dubik Mahama was still there as the MD. Arnaud Dompre in 2023 was still a member of the ECG board. Or a criminal guy. And engineers own say ECG as some Wakembi. That is why they have moved. That is why they don't want that conversation to go on. That is why today you don't see them having press conferences to be demanding ECG containers na irano because posts na cables na irano a women fire. And you see, it's so interesting. Say it is the leadership of the minority today. They were the people who were sitting on the board of ECG. Now, when Ejapa was taken out, Ayade Herbert Krapper, something also happened. In 2024, Herbert Krapper, he was acting as the board chair. March 2024, Herbert Krapper na obey deputy to Napono. He became the acting board chair of ECG. Inti the same time now Oya deputy to Napono, he became the acting board chair of ECG. Efrisena Kelly Gajapo in March 2024 had resigned. Inti they brought Herbert Krapper from the ministry to be the acting board chair of ECG board. In 2024 March, na Arnaud Dompre was still on the board of ECG. Now, Dubik Mahama was still in post, was still at post because March 2024, now Dubik Mahama resigning yet. Now, why not resigning? Kelly Gajapo. Into Omo Movie Krapper, who was the deputy energy minister, they made him the acting board chair of ECG. Into Saosha, changes now, Bano, Krapper or top, Krapper or down. He was acting as board chair and also the deputy minister in 2024 March. Team. Nti Krapper be board chair acting when Kelly Gajapo resigned as the board chair of ECG. It is still Arnaud Dompre is constant from 2022, 2023, 2024. Arnaud Dompre was on the board of ECG. Into all the decisions that were being taken, Arnaud Dompre was sitting in there. Napo was in there. Dubik Mahama was in there. Now Krapper abe some substitution be which is not permanent. Now, Ekufuado would need a board chair for ECG because Kelly Gajapo has resigned. Krapper is a deputy energy minister. He's acting as the board chair of ECG. Into NPP4 had to make some changes because they needed their cartels still to control ECG. So what did they do? This was in March 2024. So that time, Napo and MBF running mate to Edian Abozege. Napo was still the substantive energy minister. Don't get it wrong. March, Napo da who is substantive energy minister. Now this is what happened. Make sure be a problem free. And in MPP, they are not speaking about the ECG issue, no, because on front are criminals. They will all go to jail. Investigations are still ongoing. That is why they are mute. Now, I'm sure idea. Now, in November, you see, in November 2024. Satana Napo Eko Okakoye running mate ama dein ama MPP ama Baumia. Inti Napo left as the energy minister. Now what they did was that they brought Krapper back to become the substantive energy minister. And the second deputy minister the deputy. Now when it comes to the ECG boss, they moved Afenyo Markin to become the ECG board chair. And then this man called Kobna Ajiman Bedu, ECG MD because November na Dubik Mahama so resigning. Kaligajepo echo March. Dubik Mahama so echo close to elections. September thereabout. Inti they needed a new MD for ECG. Inti omdi afenyomakin ebe share as the board chair of ECG. They brought another person to replace Dubik Mahama. And what happens? They brought the deputy chief whip. Time na omo parliament, omo power no. Na acquire friend Habib Idrisu. Not or your majority chief whip. Not or your third to afenyomakin. They brought that guy to be on the board of ECG. Into technically, another prayer has been on ECG boards for about 3 years. Now, you're changing Keligajepo resigning, Krapa Ako as a substantive minister because Napoko running mate. And you're the Afenoma can have show. Now you ask, say, why na shen finfino? Dubik Mahama Soko into the wine about Kwabena. Now, Kwamena. Now, here, baby, a trick in all. The reason why you are not seeing another prayer here and say, Afenoma was the board chair of the road fund. Now, what they did was that they moved another prayer from the ECG board to go and take over at the road fund, and they brought Afenyomakin from the road fund to be the board chair of ECG. Now, you see the trick. So, another prayer for about 3 years has been on the board of ECG. Now, they still needed their campaign in the front, one of them to come and handle ECG board. They had to take another prayer to substitute Afenyomakin from the road fund board for Afenyomakin to come here as a substantive board chair of ECG. Into another prayer left around November 20. He left before the elections to go ahead the road fund. Into anything I won't say Habib Abeshaw. Into so follow what they did. It was a simple chess they were playing with you. The NPP as we speak today. Now let me show you this. Obi Obaka say there are some people who have doubt about these people. Now you see, another prayer joins ECG board July 30th, 2021. And I almost swear another prayer in as a board member of ECG. Ntebia, Ojin sa sama ye kano, ye can dia share another prayer kon. No. Sa post na muna adwejire no. Another prayer dia. Or a lot of them, Kennedy Muobi, Afenyomaki Muobi, they have stolen everything from the container. Inti, say, Uko back to look at what actually happened now. Sir Habib and the Afenyomakin, they all came into the ECG or joined the ECG board in July 2024. Sanko for me and say we are only the NPP or parliament, no, they are the ones who destroyed ECG. These three criminals. It's ECG problem now. Yeka na nkofobia dina NPP form person mekasa oma dino. It is Habib who is the minority chief whip, Afenyomakin who is also the minority whip, and then another prayer who is also the minority chief whip. Onne Afenyomakin who is now the minority leader. These three people are the ones that almost the ECG cause shares a problem. That is why ECG container theft in the buy, they were saying, oh, wait there, a national issue, we should all come together and solve it. That ben out is another prayer ECG as some nubi. Have you heard him speak on it? Have you ever heard this Habib guy speak on the ECG container theft? Afenyomakin can never catch them say, oh, guys, let us all come together as a people. No. Videos now muhuno. In some Kennedy kano. These people are the people who containers in our free ports. I'm setting up a company. Okay? This is when Habib Idrisu was basically make some evidence, no? But they are not done pray the actual. Okay. Habib was sworn in. Habib Denini by Napo. Habib and Afenyomakin were sworn in by Napo, the energy minister, to go sit on the ECG board in July 2024. So the NPP you are seeing right now, front, leadership, they are criminals. They are the corporates. ECG container theft now, that is why the NPP leadership, they have refused to speak on it. Investigations they know that some of them will go to jail. And they don't even want to do press conference. Their communicators are not speaking on it. Social media, no, they don't want to speak on these things because the leadership must say NDC person will break NPP. I mean, John Mahama can be jailing for me and so we me good party no. Afenyo Markin is still begging behind the scenes. Afenyo Markin is begging. Habib, Arnold Dompre, Afenyo Markin. These three criminals, these guys. Now, let me show you also on ECG website. They published it. Now, when you read ECG Ankasa website, what they wrote there, my man one kind. So if you saw all about Mr. Afenyo Markin succeeded Mr. Krapa, who has been appointed as Minister of State at the Ministry of Energy. Mr. Krapa's elevation to his ministerial role was approved by Parliament after his nomination by President Akufo-Addo. Previously, Mr. Krapa served as the Deputy Minister for Energy. Before his new appointment, Mr. Afenyo Markin chaired the Ghana Road Fund. With his transition to the ECG board, Majority Chief Whip Arnold Dompre will assume the role of board chairman of the Ghana Road Fund. Consequently, Mr. Dompre will step down from his position on the ECG board, a role that will now be taken over by Deputy Majority Whip in Parliament, Habib Idrisu. This is on the website of ECG. I did not publish this. Inti, when you take your time and analyze the air now, the reason why the NPP as a political party are not speaking, the leadership of the NPP are not speaking on the ECG theft na air no sa post na mbrante ni ko hu ye no any cables na enane no Afenyo Markin Arnold Dompre Habib Idrisu. They are the ones, these three people, these are the three criminals who want you to believe, say, oh, you know something, ECG, these are the people who did the crime.